Hey there. It's been a very, very, very long time. I am back for spring break, and I'm just gonna go right into a review. Basically, what I'll be reviewing today is Bioshock Infinite. It just came out on Tuesday, which is the 26th of March, and this has been a highly anticipated game. I've reviewed Bioshock 1 and 2. I think I reviewed 2. I remember reviewing 1, and they are some of my favorite games of all time, especially the first one. So I was really excited for this game when it was announced. The funny thing was that it was announced, 3 years ago. I remember they released, the first teaser trailer for it back then, and with many, many delays, they went through 3 delays, and some people left the team, and it's finally out. It comes from Irrational Games, the ones who made Bioshock 1 and 2. And I'm just going to get right into it. There will not be any spoilers for this review. I usually spoil everything, but I think this is one of those games that if I spoil it, there are still people that are going to watch it and listen to it, even though they don't care about the spoilers. And, even though I think you can enjoy this game with knowing what happens, I think you'll appreciate why I didn't spoil it for you. All right, so let's go right into it. So basically, Bioshock Infinite is the third game out of Bioshock 1 and 2, but it is quite different from the other ones. Some of the main differences from this one compared to the first two is that, one, it doesn't take place in Rapture, which is the underwater dystopian universe, and two, it takes place in 1912, unlike past games which took place in 1960, and I think it was 61 or 62 for Bioshock 2. And the biggest change is it doesn't take. Well, I said it doesn't take place in Rapture, but it takes place in the city of Columbia. Now, let me just start from the beginning here of the story to tell you exactly what is going on here. One of the other changes, and the final change that I'm going to say, is you play as a named and known character. You play as Booker DeWitt. He is a former Pinkerton agent. He basically went into a rough period in his life where he lost his wife, and he was supposed to have a daughter, and she was sadly lost too. And so he basically goes into a depression of drinking and gambling and gets into this gambling debt, which this guy hires him and says, hey, I'll take away all your debt if you go to the city of Columbia and pick up this girl named Elizabeth and bring her back to New York. So, he agrees to it because, he wants to get rid of his debt. And it kind of starts off the same way as the original Bioshock, where instead of being in a plane, you're on a boat, and you basically are getting ready to go to a lighthouse, which will take him to Columbia. The thing about Columbia is it's a city in the sky. It was first talked about at the World's Fair, and it was shown off there, and then it disappeared from the world shortly after, and basically it has never been heard of again. But somehow this guy knows how to get there, and he tells Booker how, and Booker ends up there. A few things about Columbia. It's a very prosperous and bright city. Everything there on the outside seems very, very happy. Unlike Rapture, which you enter as after the fall of it, you are actually in Columbia during its time of where it's prosperous, and there's people everywhere, and it seems like the typical American society for that time period. Very patriotic, very interesting. Pretty much he ends up there, and he's in search for Elizabeth. And he is basically going through this city trying to find her, and you start to see that there's something not quite right with this town, or this city, rather. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but knowing about, what if something was prosperous back in that time, even in the 1950s, there's always something dark about it. If you look at the 50s, the Levitt towns, there's always something very dark about it, and there was something missing from the very happy towns. and you can probably make a guess what that is. So it leads to Booker on this journey through Columbia. Um, Columbia is led by Comstock. I can't remember his first name now, but Comstock, who they call the Prophet. And basically, this town worships, the founding fathers. There's a Benjamin Franklin and George Washington and Thomas Jefferson statue, and they are worshipped as gods. And this Comstock, who created Columbia, is known as their prophet. He's basically who they worship as a god. And so there's the first thing that's wrong with that. Basically, Elizabeth, you find out, is locked in a tower, similar to a Disney film. And she's locked in a tower, and she is being held captive and guarded by the Songbird, which is kind of the equivalent in Bioshock to a Big Daddy, except for much more threatening and crazy. And so Booker goes in and tries to save her, and they go around on this adventure together. Similar to Bioshock, there are things that are like plasmids called vigors. They have different powers, just like a why can't I think of it? I just said it. Just like a plasmid. And that's how pretty much the city runs a little. And so that's Columbia. It was a very bold choice for them to, take this town or the city. I keep saying town, but it's a city, and they take this city, and they don't make it dark. The dark you think of. It's not scary. Well, it is scary. It's scary in a different way, though. It's not the obvious scary. It's the scary of something isn't quite right here. It's like when you walk into a place that, seems on the outside very nice, but is very unwelcoming and gives you very weird vibes. But yeah, so that's pretty much the basic plot of the story. As Booker, I thought it was a very bold choice for them to choose an actual character to play as, because in the first, 2 games you play, first game you don't know anything about the guy, he never talks. The second game he plays a Big Daddy, but, they don't talk either. This Booker, he talks, and I think that's a very bold strategy, and it's awesome, too. You also have Elizabeth at your side through most of the game, and she is your companion throughout. And the dialogue between them is just brilliant, and the voice actors are perfect for it. You can look up any gameplay video and see anything like that. But, this game is incredible. That's all I have to say. It's one of the best games I've ever played. And I picked it up at midnight on the 26th, and I played it a little that night, and then I played it basically for a really long time the next day. Played it a little bit the next day, and I finally finished it today. And I just have to say, I just enjoyed every last second of it. The thing that they focused on the most in this is the fact that in Bioshock 1, this can be spoiled because, I'm pretty sure everyone knows by now, the killing of Andrew Ryan takes place in the middle of the game, and then the game kind of loses its steam after that. There's not as much to it, and people kind of complain about that. Well, with this, it is action-packed throughout the end, and there are lots and lots of twists. It's not what you expect it to be. You can watch any trailer, you can watch any gameplay video, and you'll see mystery behind it, but you don't know exactly what's going on. And it's genius, because I didn't expect anything that was coming at me when it came to the twists and things like that. I did, however, get a spoiler right before I played the game of the ending, and I have to say it didn't tarnish anything for me. You have to play it to understand it anyways, and it's the only way you can enjoy it and enjoy what happens. And so if anyone has been spoiled of what happens, at least the ending, play it still, because you're still going to get a great experience out of it. Now, I bought it for PS3. A lot of people say that the PC version is better, and I would probably agree. I haven't seen anything on it yet, but the PlayStation 3 version is great. What I really love is the case. Everyone complained about how the case is a little generic. It's just basically what I'm showing you. Well, what I'm not showing you on the screen is that's the alternate cover, which is the reverse side in the game on the game case. You can flip the cover, and this is the cover you'll get instead, which is a little more artistic. And I thought that was a really cool thing. I'm just kind of going back and forth here because I'm not really looking at notes or anything. But I just have to say, really pick up this game. You'll see just so many details. It's one of those games you don't want to rush through because, you could probably beat the game within 7 or 8 hours. But I played it. It probably took me about 16 hours because I just looked at every corner, every crevice, every chest, everything, and found everything. And it was a great experience to do it that way. And I also have to say, just the scenery is amazing. You're going to sit there and just want to look around at the place for a good 5 minutes before you even do anything. So it's really great. Yeah, so it's a great game. I highly recommend picking it up. Obviously, this isn't the best review. If you want to if you want to hear a great review, Adam Sessler, he was formerly a host on G4 TV. He has a review. You can just search on YouTube, Adam Sessler review Bioshock Infinite. And that's probably going to be your best review because I'm not a great reviewer, but I'm just doing this because I love the game so much. And if you're, a lot of the people who follow me, they're more following me for the comic books and things like that, which I am a big part of too. But this is one of those games that I don't think most gamers or non-gamers realize. It's more than that. It's more than just a video game. It is a genuine movie, and as much problems as they've been having trying to make a Bioshock movie with the original Bioshock, this is the one that I think they could make a movie with instead, which would be even better because it has a little more movie quality to it. It has the story's a little more of a movie quality, the characters, everything. Just the environment is just visually appealing and also off-putting at the same time. It's so crazy how they can do that. But yeah, I had a blast. I cannot wait to play it again. I am definitely going to play it. I'm going to start it up as soon as possible again. It's also cool because this is the first one that you can actually replay chapters within the game instead of having to replay all the way through it every time. You can pick your favorite chapter and play that, but I'm going to play through the whole thing because it's just a marvelous experience. But yeah, I think, honestly, this is one of the best games I've ever played, and all I have to say is pick it up. Don't rent it. Don't borrow it. Buy it yourself because you'll not be disappointed by it. So, yeah.